So we're going to learn today a Shaolin hold flow. Now, this is a flow that I teach probably not for full beginners, but someone who's already done at least a 2 movement flow. Okay, so if you are finding this tutorial and you are just starting out, maybe perhaps go and find some slightly simple tutorials, some 2 movement flows. This is going to be a 4 movement flow. However, if you want to have a crack, I will explain everything step by step so then you can do it too. Now, Shaolin hold is one of my absolutely favorite mace movements. It's very graceful and very elegant, and I often add it into my flows to kind of sprinkle a little bit of a flourish and elegance into the flows. Okay, so how I'm going to run the training today, we're going to probably be together about 30 minutes. I am going to teach you all the 4 movements separately, and then we're going to combine them into a flow. If you have any questions during this training, or if you are watching on replay, just pop them in the chat box. I will always go back and answer them too. Okay. Now, be careful if you are starting out with the steel mace, or if you are maybe using a broom because you don't have your own steel mace yet, then just take it slowly. Okay. Who says that you need to master this flow perfectly in one session? If I teach clients this flow, I usually will take a week or 2 to teach them nicely and gradually. Okay. Remember that you're just mastering a very unique tool. You're probably going to be performing today movements you have never done before. So let your body and your nervous system too to just get used to it. Okay. So I'm not going to run you through a warm-up. If you are doing this at a future time, please do your own warm-up a little bit. On my YouTube channel, there is a mace mobility warm-up, which takes about 5-7 minutes. Or if you need a mobility warm-up, there's plenty of videos on YouTube or in my Facebook group where you can do that. Okay. So we're going to first start with a lateral lunge. I'm just going to maybe adjust my screen a little bit. Actually, let me go to full screen so then I can see. Make sure that you can see me just fine. Need to see my legs and my upper body too. Okay. So lateral lunge. For lateral lunge, you're going to be holding the mace under and over. This is the grip that we're going to be doing this whole flow. Under, over. Yeah. So under by the mace ball, over in the end. Okay. So lateral lunges. I think I'm far enough. Cool. You're going to step out. Now, with lateral lunges, the most important thing to remember is that you don't want to step too far because it's quite hard to come back, and you're also exposing the knee to a lot of tension. You want to step somewhere where your heel is going to be roughly underneath your hip bone. Your hip bone is here. Okay. And another really important thing about the lateral lunge is that you are sinking back. So what I see people doing a lot when they do lateral lunges, they are loading the knee. I want you to load the glute. So your shin is roughly almost perpendicular to the ground. And then you're sinking the hips in a hip hinge pattern back. Okay. So if I show you here, this is where you would be going in terms of the mace. The mace ball falls directly between your feet. Yeah. And then you just bring it up here. So let's just practice the lateral lunge on one side. Okay. Just do a few repetitions. Make sure that you're comfortable here. If you're learning this and it's a brand new movement, then perhaps do it without the mace, just to master it first. Okay. All right. Let's try it on the other side. Switch the mace. If you are unfamiliar with switches, there is a video on YouTube that explains grips and switches. So go back to that and learn how to do the prayer switch. Yeah? I'm not going to go into it here, just to keep the trainings nice and short. So this is your lateral lunge. So that's movement number 1 in this flow. Then we're going to go into a flick. Flick is this movement. Okay, so what I really want you to pay attention to is locking the core. So engaging the glutes, engaging the abs, and really compressing the shoulders down. From here, you're not going to be using momentum, okay? You are going to pop the mace into here by really pushing down on this arm and compressing, okay? So I might just show you a little bit this way. I'm just going to let the mace go. I'm not going to create any momentum, okay? Because that's going to come back and haunt you on the other side. So as you are transitioning the mace down, this arm is really going to push down, which will then bring the mace up. Yeah. And you want it to be kind of nice and close. And it's okay at the beginning. You might not quite make it there. Okay. So start again. If it's almost there, then you just reach for it and bring it back. Okay. It is this motion that is making the mace come back. And you need to do it nice and early and really compress with a pec shoulder. Yeah. You don't want to be here exposing the shoulder joint to a lot of tension. You want to be nicely packed and have the back muscles engaged. Okay. So from here, you come here and then you over grip it. By over gripping it, I mean this. Yeah. Not here, but over grip it. So to just kind of protect your face. Okay. So let's just try a few repetitions and see how you go. Okay. It's okay if at the beginning it's not quite flowing beautifully all the way up. Yeah. It will load your triceps quite a bit, which is kind of nice. Yeah. So just try a few repetitions on each side. Go nice and slow. It's okay if some reps you don't quite manage. Just kind of grab it or start all over again. Okay. Transition to the other side and try the other side. Obviously, on your dominant side, it's going to be a little bit easier. If you're right-handed, then your right-hand side will probably be a little bit easier. Okay, so don't let go of the core. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs. Yeah, and compress the shoulder down. So this movement is called a flick. F-L-I-C-K, flick. Yeah, you're kind of flicking the mace up. And it's quite lovely. Okay. That was your second movement. Okay. Now, ta-da, let's go to the Shaolin hold. Now, Shaolin hold is epic. So we're going to go into the Shaolin hold from the flick. So you're going to set up for the flick. Yeah. Now, I really want you to pay attention to the shoulder. I want you to really pack that shoulder. Don't leave it hanging at the front. Pack it, engage the glutes and the abs, and lock the serratus. So lock the front abs here as well before you go to the Shaolin hold, which is you're going to release the hand. You're going to firmly grip the end, and you're going to release the hand that's holding onto the mace ball. Then you're going to rest the mace on your wrist and pop it up. Don't go all the way up because you don't want to risk the mace falling the other way. This is roughly where you would end up. Then you're going to reverse the motion. Grip the mace and you're coming back to where you started. Okay? I'll come a little bit closer just so you can see the switching. Okay. So flick first. Stabilize here for a second. Make sure everything is engaged. Release the hand. Lift. This is quite hard because you essentially just lifting the mace on top of your wrist. If you're wearing bracelets or watches, it's going to be quite uncomfortable. You might want to pop them off. Okay. This arm is going to be locked. It doesn't bend. Okay. So I don't think I can quite show you. I'll see if I can this way show you while I'm here so you can kind of see a little bit more in detail where I'm going. So flick, stabilize the core of the shoulder, and pop up into Shaolin hold, reverse. You're back where you started, okay? Let's go one more time. Be patient with this. This is not easy. To hold a 4-kilo mace, if that's what you have, just on your wrist, up on top, it's tricky. And you need to really engage the shoulder, the lats, yes? Stabilize the shoulder. You don't want to be up here. All right? Cool. So this is the flick with Shaolin hold. Okay. Here we go. Now we have one last movement. Okay. And that is, we can actually put your mace down. We're just going to go into the side step lunge, which is a side step lunge. So you're literally just stepping behind you. You're trying to pop your hips as forward as you possibly can, and then you're going to go down, okay? Some people call this a curtsy lunge as well. In mace training, I call it side step lunge. So you're going to go behind. You don't have to go like really far either. Just go behind and then go down. But by trying to twist the hips forward as much as you can, you're really engaging the hips and the glutes, and then you go down, okay? And try it on both sides. See how you go, okay? Hopefully it's not hurting your knees. You want to feel a lot of tension in the glutes, not in your knees, okay? So just try a few, going side to side. See how that feels, okay? Right. Shall we put it all together? I think we should. Any questions, just pop them in, okay? I'm running through this quite fast, okay? Because I'm trying to keep these trainings to a minimum, okay? To kind of fit it in 20, 30 minutes. So hopefully take this training away, practice. It takes 300 goes to practice a movement, to master a movement, okay? So practice the movements separately before you put them into a flow, which I'm going to show you now. You know, I would say that probably you should expect at least 2 to 3 weeks to master a flow if you're doing it at least 3 times a week, okay? That is what I would expect, even with some of my more advanced clients. And when I'm teaching, when I'm learning new flows, I just give myself a lot of time, okay? There's no rush. There's no rush. You want to perform the movements with perfect form, okay? So take your time. Go slow. Maybe you're just going to practice the lateral lunges and the flick for a little while, and then you're going to add the Shaolin hold and other bits and pieces, okay? So I'm going to run you very slowly through the whole flow. We are going to go into lateral lunge first. Lateral lunge. You're going to come back, flick, stabilize, Shaolin hold, side step lunge, and you're moving towards the mace. Yeah, so the side step lunge happens on the same side where the mace is, and then you are going to reverse the flick and you are back where you began. Okay, we're just going to go on one side only for a few repetitions, and then we'll switch sides and go on the other side. Okay, so nice and slow. Lateral lunge. Come back to the middle. Stabilize. Get the core ready. Flick. Again. Stabilize. Shaolin hold. Side step lunge. Yeah? You see what I mean? It's really elegant movement. It's very graceful. However, if it doesn't feel or look graceful because you're just learning, don't worry. It will get graceful. I've been doing this for 5 years, okay? It will happen. You just have to practice. It's a very unique tool. It's not the same as a dumbbell or a barbell. So of course it's going to feel different. It might take more time to master, but you will be pleased eventually that you gave it some time and mastered it, okay? There's quite a few of you in this live who have just purchased their maces for the first time. So congratulations. It's really exciting. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the tribe. It is so fun. All right, let's go on the other side. Lateral lunge, yeah? Moving away from the mace. Come back to the middle. Engage the core. Prepare. Flick. Over grip. Shaolin hold. Side step lunge towards the mace. Come back. Reverse. Okay. Let's go again, nice and slow. Lateral lunge. And on the lateral lunge, you're always moving away from the mace ball. Yeah. So if your mace is on the left, if your left hand is holding the mace ball, you're going to be moving to the right. Okay. So lateral lunge. Flick. Shaolin hold. Side step lunge. Okay. So at the beginning, I'd suggest you go really super slowly and really break down the movements and set up for the movement, specifically for the flick and the Shaolin hold. You cannot go into the Shaolin hold if you don't pack your shoulder and really engage the lats and the back muscles and the core here. Otherwise, you're just going to upset your shoulders and you're going to develop some aches and pains and probably load the ligaments and the rotator cuff. Okay, not good. So when you after you've been doing this flow for a while, you can go here. You can just go and kind of smooth out the transitions. You can also go into Shaolin hold and the side step lunge in one continuous movement. But just remember that doing two movements at once is challenging, and you need to spend some time practicing the movements separately before you put them together. Okay. Lateral lunge, flick, Shaolin hold, side step lunge. Okay. You can also go side to side where you switch in between. Yeah. So this is what it could look like after you've been mastering it for a little while. Yeah. You can go side to side, which is then, you're adding a little bit more cardiovascular loading because, as I said, steel mace training is strength training, mobility, and cardio all baked into one. Okay, so here you go. Here's the Shaolin hold flow, which is a 4-movement flow. Yeah, not essentially a beginner flow, but if you just have a bit more patience and practice, it can be mastered even if you are a beginner. But give yourself some time, please. Be patient. Don't try to run before you can walk. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, do let me know. Happy to answer. If you want to send me a video of you doing this and you want a little bit of feedback on your form, I can also do that. And remember that you can find this flow and a lot more other flows and strength training sessions and mobility inside my Warrior Woman program, which comes in a group version with monthly live classes where you can access my coaching. Or you can also, if you want fast results and you don't want to spend time and energy navigating around a portal and deciding what movements and what workouts to do, I can also package that with one-on-one coaching too, which is super fun and perfect for the really busy woman who just needs everything really streamlined and needs someone to tell her exactly what to do each week. So these are the options. Let me know if you are interested in finding out a little bit more. It will be lovely to have you inside the program. It just gives you a bit more of a cohesive training program and gives you, a more step-by-step tutorials and flows, and also safely challenging interval training, which is super fun. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this flow. It is, as I said, one of my favorites. And if I can assist you in any way in mastering this unique, fun, and totally badass tool, then please get in touch with me.